Hi, in this short video I'm going to share 3 very powerful principles with you to get your toes and your foot and ankle from no movement to movement. How can I say this? We have literally helped hundreds of clients in the last years to get their foot, their toes and their ankles more stable and get them moving even when there was no movement possible. How did we do that? We used 3 very powerful principles. Principle number 1, we train from the spastic position. Principle number 2, we use reflexes that are already built in that you can use to get movement in the foot and the whole leg in the correct way. Number 3, we use very powerful cross-court principles, cross-court reflexes. Let's talk about principle number 1, training from the spastic position. What do we mean with that? Typically when a foot is trained, it is trained from a normal resting position, either sitting, lying down in a comfortable position, and if it gets going, you can increase function and off you go. With a lot of our clients, and probably maybe with you too, it is not that easy to get movement back and you end up in a brace and not training your foot and toes again. Many of our clients did not have any movement at all and they did not think it would come back. However, when you start training from the spastic position, which is a very different position than the normal resting position after stroke, you put the foot in the spastic position. You can even apply some more pressure with a band or manually to increase feedback, and that is often a position where we can see the first tiny movement come back. And if it is not that position, you can put the foot, the leg in a different position, on a gym ball, resting with pressure on the foot, in the spastic position, in different positions, in the rolled out, in the inverted position of the foot. And when you keep on training that, you often see that the first movement does come back. It was not completely lost. It was just ignored and it was uncoupled from the rest of the body. So, training from the spastic position or any position where you can get the first movement going is the way to go, not from the standard resting position. Principle number 2, equally powerful, training with the reflexes that are already built in. I mentioned training on the gym ball. We have stepping reflexes built in. If you make a lifting movement with the leg when you're walking, you activate a whole chain of muscles. You activate the foot dorsiflexors, you stabilize the ankle, the peroneal muscles, you activate the hamstring, which is often weak after stroke, you activate the glutes. And in one stepping motion, reflexed, coupled stepping motion, you can get movement going. So when you roll the foot naturally back, using the hamstring and the glutes if that is possible, you also activate that the foot and the toes come up in a natural way. That's a powerful reflex, just like stimulating the back of the foot is a reflex that your ancestors used when they were walking the savannas and were brushed by shrubs or grass, and they had to step up higher, so it will naturally help get your toes and your foot up. Just like stimulating the foot, pressure on the foot, stimulating the foot will, after stroke, get your toes up, and actually can also be helped when rolling over something. You can also train the foot to come up, and you will actually train the muscles to stabilize the ankle. So inbuilt reflexes that are already there, that for example you use while walking, can be a very powerful tool to get the foot and the toes going. The third principle are the cross-cord reflexes. The reflexes that are in between all of your limbs that, for example, help you walking, help stabilize the movement and optimize the movement, make it more efficient. It's the leg swing while walking. We know post-stroke that if you do bilateral movement with the arms, you will actually have, we call it a quadrupedal transfer to the legs. It will help your walking. So we can couple all the limbs together in coupled movements, crawling, walking movements, movements on the back and on the front where we use the limbs in a synchronized way, in a quadrupedal coupled way. This will actually sync up with the central nervous system. We get a transfer between the two hemispheres. We disinhibit the inhibited, weaker hemisphere after stroke. And you get more movement also in the foot, not just in the leg, but also in the foot. So these three principles can actually help you to move your toes, your ankle and your foot better. Training from the spastic position, finding the right position where you get the first movement, using the reflexes that are already built in and using the spinal cord, cross-cord reflexes that couple all the limbs and synchronize the movements of the leg up with the central nervous system again. If you want to find out more about these principles, go to the introduction video of our foot and ankle intensive home program on Stroke.Rehab/training. See you in the next video.